The film opens with a scene from the Ice Age. It's freezing outside and a Stone Age man is seen endeavoring to make fire for his darling, who is shuddering from the virus. Out of nowhere, a seismic tremor strikes and makes the cavern break down, covering both of them. The film then diets forward to the present, where a typical youngster named Dave Morgan is awakened by a tremor in Los Angeles. He is an exhausting secondary school kid, whose just point in life is to be well known and dazzle his crush, Robin Sweeney. That's what to accomplish, Dave is building a pool in his lawn with the assistance of his similarly disliked dearest companion, Stoney. At some point, while digging his fantasy pool, Dave runs over a bowl from the ancient period. Captivated, he begins digging the specific spot and before long finds a lump of ice covered under ground. Shockingly, it contains a very much safeguarded body of an ancient man in it. The tracking down takes Dave euphoric, as he accepts that he will at long last become well known. Presently, he promptly calls his companion, Stoney, and both of them pull the ice shut out from the ground. Not long after, they leave it in the carport around some space warmers so the ice can dissolve. Sometime thereafter at school, Dave welcomes his crush, Robin, to look at something uniquely amazing that he has found, yet unfortunately, she turns him down. He is totally negligent that Robin is now dating somebody, an egotistical athlete named Matt. Consequently, when Matt sees the geek hitting on his sweetheart, he conveys Dave and pins him on the notification board, making him a fool. In the meantime, back in Dave's carport, the radiators liquefy the ice, and shockingly, the ancient mountain man is viewed as alive. As he falls on the ground, he is confounded by his new climate, which looks nothing short of an outsider planet for him. Thus, he begins meandering around the property to figure out everything. From the get-go, he runs over Dave's canine, and plays with him for some time. Yet, out of nowhere, a helicopter cruises by, driving him off from the spot. Then, at that point, he adventures around the local where he sees a cutting-edge human and takes up a guarded position. When the man takes off, the cave dweller has a go at drinking water from a close-by channel, however right away lets it out as a result of its terrible taste. Inevitably, the dump truck shows up, and the cave dweller takes it for a mammoth and has a go at frightening it off. He even tosses a digging tool at it, while shouting like a neurotic. Tired of the new world, the Stone Age man enters Dave's home and starts moving to some rock tunes that are being played on television. Afterward, when Dave gets back with Stoney, they find hand paint covering the walls and the house in chaos with the Stone Age men missing from sight. Out of nowhere, the alarm goes off and they find the cave dweller in Dave's room attempting to get a fire going with sticks. The two companions speedily go into the room and attempt to present themselves, however they end up cracking him out. All of a sudden, the telephone likewise rings and the Stone Age man begins hopping on the bed like a lunatic. He likewise jumps towards Dave to go after him, however Stoney acts the hero with a lighter. Shockingly, the man-made fire intrigues the Stone Age man and he at last quiets down. Following this, the young men choose to coordinate the Stone Age man into their general public. From the beginning, they give him a shower. They void a few containers of body wash and conditioner to scour the man clean. They additionally trim his hair and dress him like a normal young person. Then, after a ton of pondering, Dave chooses to name him Connection since he feels the Stone Age man is the missing connection among him and high school prominence. After the makeover, as the young men are attempting to present themselves, they hear Dave's family's vehicle pulling up in the carport. Overreacted, Dave trains Stoney to take Connection out and ring the doorbell, imagining as though they have recently shown up. He then, at that point, heads to the kitchen and accepts any penalty for destroying the entire spot. He lets his folks know that he needed to astonish them by preparing supper. In the interim, Connection and Stoney see up and out. The Guardians are baffled to see the new youngster acting unusually yet similarly as they are about to question him. Dave removes them. He quickly lies that Connection is an international student from Estonia who doesn't talk an expression of English. He further notices that his school is giving out additional credit focuses to the understudies who are lodging unfamiliar international students. From the outset, the Guardians have serious doubts about giving Connection access to their home, however when Dave genuinely coerces that it's for his vocation, they hesitantly concur. The following day, an energized Dave takes Connect to his secondary school and selects him in class. While Stoney is a veritable person who simply needs to be companions with the mountain man, Dave needs to show him idiotic pet stunts to entertain others. His main objective is to utilize the new person to acquire fame. Not long after, in the school lobby, Connection sees Robin and her companion, Cindy. Fascinated by their excellence, he advances towards them, hopping from the primary floor. Utilizing his preeminent athletic abilities, he is astounded by Cindy's build and continues to contact her, yet Dave rapidly mediates and accompanies him away. In any case, the young ladies are as of now charmed by Connection's strange way of behaving. In the following scene, when Dave gets going with his classes, Stoney takes Connect to his Spanish class. There, Cindy constantly hits on Connection and even asks him out. After the class is finished, Stoney takes the cave dweller to his #1 store to treat him to his #1 burrito. There, he likewise presents various kinds of chocolates and shows Connection how to wheeze the juice. Following this, the two go to an entertainment mecca and ride on a thrill ride. When Connection gets back, he has figured out how to talk a piece like Stoney. During supper, the cave dweller keeps on acting odd, like he eats a fly and furthermore chows on some canine food, yet fortunately, Dave's family has accustomed to it. Soon thereafter, Dave and Stoney take Connect to an ice hockey game where all the famous kids are available to incorporate Robin and Cindy. Dave gets eager to see his crush, and continues towards her, however he coincidentally steps on a skateboard and winds up falling on top of her. Subsequent to disregarding the humiliating second, he shows her an image from their young life at the point when they cleaned up together. Sadly, this further incenses Robin, inciting her to hold on to the image right away. In the meantime, Connection keeps on acting weird and he draws bare pictures of ladies on the ice skating stand. Cindy contemplates whether the young lady in the image is Connection's better half from Estonia. She then endeavors to entice him by referencing that remote relationships won't ever work. However, Connection doesn't comprehend a word she is saying. Then again, the domineering jerk, Matt, sees Dave attempting to draw near to his sweetheart. Furthermore, quickly rebuffs him by hauling him into the skating arena before everybody. Interface observes this and goes to defy the domineering jerk, yet rather gets a strong punch to his face. He is shaken for some time, yet as opposed to everybody's assumption, Connection leaves from the battle. Dave is confounded and Stoney makes sense of that cave dweller's battle for food and endurance, not fame. Hearing this, Dave promises to show Connection some self-preservation moves, with the goal that he can safeguard himself against menaces like Matt. Also, at home, he shows him different tapes of wrestling and hand-to-hand fighting. Interface rapidly gets the battling abilities, doubtlessly stirring up a lot of objection for Stoney. At some point, Dave's school goes on his group on an outing to a characteristic history exhibition hall. Interface tracks down the monster ancient models natural, yet soon, he understands that cavern individuals he knew are dead. He flies off the handle and starts arbitrarily shouting. Yet, before he can cause commotion, Stoney and Dave quiet him down. They likewise let him in on that they are consistently there for him as a family. As the three bond, a dubious Matt watches them from a good ways. The following day at school, Connection is matched with Robin in her driver's ed class. Seeing Connection get in the driving seat from a good ways, Stoney and Dave frenzy and they rush to stop him. They some way or another figure out how to get in the vehicle, yet Connection begins driving at a rapid. He additionally performs hazardous tricks that he saw on television, causing people a deep sense of entertainment and loathsomeness. After a touch of disarray inside the school border, Connection branches out on the principal street and hops numerous red signs. Then, at that point, he sees a club and promptly pulls over, showing that he needs to have some fun. Hesitantly, the gathering additionally follows Connection to the club and finds him playing out some smooth moves. Robin is stunned and she requests that Dave go with her on the dance floor, however he turns her down, referring to his unfortunate moving abilities. Subsequently, she continues to hit the dance floor with Connection, who gradually begins turning into the focal point of fascination. In the meantime, Stoney and Dave become friends with a gathering of Spanish-talking men who let them attempt liquor. Somewhere else, Matt and his harasser companions have snuck inside school around evening time to see his more data about Connection. They check his clinical records and notice that Connection has a sickness history of a creature. Matt is left additionally bewildered by the disclosure, however he promises to his companions to get to the root of it. Back in the club, Dave watches with envy as Connection moves his heart out with Robin. All of a sudden, the police appear, sending everybody at the club into a free-for-all. Acknowledging they are there to capture them, Dave educates Stoney to bring Robin back home while he persuades Connection to leave. Nonetheless, before he can do as such, the police capture both of them. Meanwhile, Stoney and his Spanish-talking companions drop Robin home and she expresses gratitude toward them for the astonishing time. Before long, Matt appears and attempts to make up with her. Incidentally, Robin resents Matt for punching Connection recently. She requests that he disappear, however Matt doesn't tune in. All things considered, he demands her to be her prom date, saying it's an issue of notoriety for him. Tragically for him, the assertion further angers Robin, and she calls him out for consistently thinking often about others' thought process. Then, at that point, prior to closing the entryway, she uncovers that she needs to go with somebody cooler. Somebody who's not scared of acting naturally. At the police headquarters, Dave will settle on one telephone decision and without reconsidering, he calls Robin. He illuminates her that he's in jail alongside Connection, and has just a single call to make sense of himself. Then, moving right along, he requests that she be her prom date, yet Robin quickly turns him down. All things being equal, she needs to go with Connection, as he is extremely rational and blameless. This normally baffles Dave, so Robin changes her proposition. She recommends that they ought to all go to the prom together, however an irritated Dave hangs up the call. Sometime later, the two young people are in the end let out of jail and they get back. The following morning, Dave awakens Connection and clandestinely drives him away from the city. Fortunately, Stoney sees them and starts following the vehicle. Subsequent to covering some distance, Dave stops the vehicle and advises Connection to go into the timberland for great. It turns out Dave is envious that Connection is taking Robin away from him. He gives him a few coins for his #1 game and sends him away. In any case, before Connection can leave sight, Stoney shows up at the scene. Dave declares that he can't deal with the Stone Age man any longer, in light of the fact that since the day he showed up, he experiences just caused agony and difficulty. He likewise recommends that Connection is in an ideal situation with another person. Stunned, Stoney castigates Dave and orders him to get back to Connection, yet the last option declines. One thing prompts another and the two get into a battle in the city. Connect sees the dearest companions battle and hurries to stop them. He then snatches the two and advises them that they are a family. Hearing this, Dave at last understands his slip-up and apologizes to both Connection and Stoney for acting shellfish. After he is excused, the three accommodate and embrace each other out. Soon thereafter, Dave assists Connection with getting dressed for the prom, yet he chooses not to go himself. Before long, Robin shows up and attempts to persuade Dave to go along, however he rejects, asserting that he has been grounded. After Connection and Robin leave, Stoney stays back with Dave and the two have drinks close the pool and commitment to become famous in school. However, as they are talking, an envious Matt breaks into Dave's space to track down proof on Connection. Sadly, he coincidentally finds some Polaroid pictures, which uncovers that Connection is in fact a mountain man. Dave and Stoney find out about the interruption and hurry to the scene, yet entirely it's past the point of no return, as Matt has proactively got inside his vehicle. He insults the pair with the photos and uncovers that he will uncover Connection at the prom. After he drives away, the stressed companions likewise follow him. In the meantime, at the prom, Robin and Connection have turned into the focal point of fascination. In any case, as they are going to be delegated prom sovereign and ruler, Matt shows up there and tells everybody that Connection is really a Stone Age man. Notwithstanding, his arrangement misfires, as the data makes Connection much more famous. Dave likewise shows up there and attempts to take the photos back from Matt, yet gets punched in the face, all things being equal. Tired of the tormenting, Connection becomes maddened and rebuffs Matt with every one of the moves he has learned. The group likewise supports as Matt gets thrown around the spot like a ragdoll. Following this, Dave and Robin make up, and the three young men lead the whole prom in an unrehearsed cave dweller-like dance. They dance till late evening, and afterward head to Dave's home for a pool party. Dave likewise gets his desire by at long last getting to kiss his crush, Robin. Meanwhile, Stoney and Connection discover a few sloppy prints in the house and become stunned. They quietly follow the prints to the washroom and find a lovely Stone Age woman in the bath. She ends up being Connection's accomplice from the outset of the film. The film closes as Dave and Stoney give the cave dweller a makeover, thus making her a new part of their loved ones.